and all of us as members. So I believe I know this is going to be our first webinar for 2023. We shall have another webinar later in the year, around October. But for this webinar, it's going to be strictly virtual, and I welcome you all. I pray that whatever we have prepared for all of us as the CUUL members will benefit all of us to make sure that we serve our clients with the necessary information, with the necessary resources, as we see that they can handle their education and also their research. As they carry on their education and their research at their respective institutions or universities. So we welcome you all. Thank you for honoring this call. We pray that this is going to be of help to all of us. Kindly take note of all the questions you could be having during the session. We shall be able to go through them, and we promise to do our level best in terms of accessing these e-resources. And we know that these are the resources that we pay for, and we want to see that they are fully utilized and to serve our different purposes. So I welcome you all. And on our team, it's a team of members. It is a team, and I'll request all my team members or all my committee members to introduce themselves, or at least to say hello, because I know they have really worked a lot. They have done a lot to see that this first webinar comes to pass, and we are so glad that it is going to come to pass today. So back to you, Chirabo. I would love to see our committee members at least saying hello to the rest of the committee as we go on with today's session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Florence. My name is Sylvia Chirabo from Makerere University, and I'm part of the eResources committee. We're happy to have you.
Chirabo, you could guide on the rest of the members to introduce themselves, the committee.
We can have Drake. Drake, can you introduce yourself?
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to see that we are early birds and that we are going to start on time. Time is key for all of us. I am Drake Tamale. I serve on the eResources committee. I am a former chairperson of that same committee. Nice to have all of you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Drake. David, are you there? David O. Ronald?
I think it is only us for now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So thank you so much.
Sylvia?
Yes, please.
The chairperson, the vice chairperson of CUUL is in the house.
Oh. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, we are so happy that you have joined us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, waiting
Okay.
for everything that is going to happen. Welcome, members.
Thank you. Okay, so we are going to proceed to our next facilitator, Dr. Alison Tinenjele. She's a college librarian here at Makerere University at the College of Health Sciences. And she's one person who has a lot of knowledge in some of these things. Dr. Allison, we're so happy to have you. You can take the floor.
Thank you very much, Florence. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning,
Yeah.
Doctor.
Okay.
Good morning.
Alison, Florence has already introduced me, but I'm Alison Chinenjere, and I'm a college librarian at the College of Health Sciences, Makerere University, at Albert Cook Library. Okay, so let's start. If you allow me to share. Just a minute. I hope you can all see my screen. Sorry.
Yes, Doctor, we can.
Okay, so my session this morning is navigating research for life. Are you able to see the whole screen? Can you see the title?
Yes, yes, we can.
The
We can't. We are not seeing the title.
We are
When
seeing
we take
the outline.
Yes.
You're seeing the word outline. I'm actually
Yes.
not seeing the word outline. I don't know what has happened.
No,
Okay.
you need, since you are sharing your screen, so the tools of Zoom are covering it. So you can drag them to wherever you want. Just move your mouse.
Okay, let me just put them down actually. All right, so today's session, this is the outline for today's session. We shall go through the objective and learning outcomes, briefly talk about what Research for Life is, look at the coverage, the content, and then we shall focus more on navigating the portal. And then after this PowerPoint, we shall have a demonstration. We shall go live to the portal and we try to navigate and see what content we have access to. And I believe that all the CUUL members all the CUUL member institutions have access to Research for Life. That is what I assumed. I hope I'm right. So I am not going to look at everything about Research for Life because it's quite a lot. I am assuming that at least we know how to find it, we know how to go and log in, all that information we should be able to do it. So the objective for this session is to learn how to navigate Research for Life's unified content portal so that we are able to save valuable time and discover the content easily. I am calling it Unified Content Portal because a few years ago, we used to look at the different programs separately. You'd go to Hinari and search, but now they were combined. They were combined and you can just make one search and you search across all the 5 programs. So that's why it's called the Unified Content Portal. So, and I'm hoping that after this session, you'll be able to understand how to access resources from the portal, the Unified Content Portal, and the other 2 portals that are separate, Agora and RD. You'll be able to understand the coverage of the collections. You'll be able to browse and search Research for Life content efficiently and effectively. You'll be able to use some of the tools, such as the hamburger menu, and also to understand the content country collections. So Research for Life is a platform that is dedicated to making peer-reviewed knowledge public to academic and research institutions in lower income countries. One of the largest collections with more than 11,000 registered institutions from over 125 countries. And we have access to over 200,000 journals and books. And Research for Life was established to improve teaching, research, and policymaking in health, agriculture, the environment, and other life, physical, and social sciences. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm not going to really talk about access because I believe we all have access. But one thing I would like to say is that Research for Life is accessible for lower income countries. The low income countries do not pay anything to access Research for Life. Now, the middle income countries, because when we say lower income countries, we are referring to the low and middle income countries. So the middle income countries pay some fee per year to access the resources. And of course, the high income countries are not eligible at all. Even if they had the money, they are not eligible to access these resources. So Research for Life was specifically established for lower and middle income countries. So what is the coverage of Research for Life? We have 5 main areas that we have access to. Health, we have access to HINARI, which provides resource in health and biomedical information. Then we have Agora, which provides access to agriculture information. We have Aware for the environment, ADI for innovation and technology, and GOALI for law and social sciences. And each of these are supported by a UN agency. As you can see on your right, for example, HINARI is supported by WHO. Of course, this is in addition to the publishers. So the publishers, of course, we are all depending on those publishers. If the publishers are not there, even these agencies would not have anything. They would not help us. They would not have access to these resources. So these agencies are actually working with the publishers to be able to give us access to this content, vast content. I am seeing messages in the, I hope all is well. I'm not going to go there, but I'm seeing a number of messages. So someone can check if there is anything like you're not hearing me or there's some clarification, please let me know at the end. So that is the coverage of Research for Life. And that coverage, you find journals, you find books, reference sources, databases, free collections. You find publishers. For example, if you want to look at what publishers are there, or maybe you're looking for publishers where to publishing houses where to publish. There are recent resources, and also you find the various subjects covering the 5 programs. So navigating the portal has, you can access the portal through direct links. The unified portal itself has its own link, and Agora and ADI have their own separate links. And I'm not sure, I don't know why this happened, that Agora and ADI could have their separate links. I believe, I cannot answer this, but I believe it's those supporting UN agencies that decided that Agora have their separate link and ADI has their separate link, but they can also be searched through the unified portal. So logging in tab from the Research for Life initial page, that is the link. And these resources can be accessible on desktop, laptop computers, and also on mobile phones. So as we navigate the portal, we'll be able to look at how to search across Research for Life using a feature called Summon. So searching research for life, you can search through, there are so many ways that you can search research for life. For example, if you know the journal of the article and the journal where it was published, you can just go through the journal and you access that article. If you know the subject, you can also go to subjects and you put in keywords and you access that article. You can also use what we call the summon, where you put in keyword search. I mean, where you put in keywords and their synonyms and you access that article. So there are various ways, as we shall see, that we can use to access research for life content. Then there is also what we call the hamburger menu. This one helps us to access the content, especially if you're using a mobile phone. It was summarized and it's so compressed that on a mobile phone, it will give you the menu, the various, it will give you the various links that can help you to search. Then we have a help. That's where you can maybe request for help. That page, you shall look at it. It is also organized in a certain way that it also have frequently asked questions, but you can also be able to request to ask, send them an email and ask where you do not understand regarding navigating the portal or content, anything about research for life. And the languages, right now we have about 6 languages. So, of course, the main one is English and French. Then there's Spanish, Russian, Portuguese, and Arabic. So you can always go to the website and change to the language that you want. So maybe talk about the hamburger menu a little bit more. If you, sorry, if you look at at the home page, you find those 3 lines. Are you seeing the 3 lines? Those 3 lines, if you click there, it will bring you information that you are seeing in a red box on your right. It is so summarized that it can be easily accessible on your mobile phone. So it has content, collection, search content, personal sign-in. It has a help link, training, partners, and reports. And under reports, you find what each country has access to. You know, we are all in lower income countries, but we access different resources, and that one is really dependent on the publishers. They may decide to give Makerere University a journal, for example, for free, but when it comes to university, they may say, no, we are not giving. That one we have no control over. That is why you find different countries have different resources, although most of them are common. So the menu, it displays the mobile phone version of the Unified Content Portal. And when you click on it, that's when you see that content. The various browse and search and other content portal options are listed and will be discussed in the next slides and when we go online for a demonstration. So under the hamburger still, you can search content. If you see that red box, you can search for content. And when you search for it, when you click the content, it brings these search options. It brings those windows where you can use the Boolean operators to put in your keywords and to also limit it down. You can say, I want to search by relevance. I want the newest articles first and the oldest first. You can choose at the bottom. There are options there. You can search. So we shall do that practically. So this is under the hamburger menu. And also you can do a personal sign-in For example, if you click on personal sign-in on the hamburger menu, it will bring you an option for existing users or new users. If you are a new user, it will ask you to register. If you're an existing user, it will ask you to log in. But in most cases, we don't use this because once we go into Research for Life, we log in as an institution. We log in as an institution, and if you look at that small man on your right-hand side, the man, the head in a red box, when you click there, once you have logged in, you see access provided by Hinari Training, National Non-Government Organization, full. If it is a university, you will find university or faculty or college, and then that information is already there, and it also gives you an option to log out. That box is always just next to the hamburger menu, those lines. Then when you look at the country offer, still on the hamburger menu, if you click on reports, below you'll find country offer. And the country offer helps you to know the content that publishers have granted access to in a specific country and the institution type. The institution type, it may be a university, it may be a teaching hospital, it may be a non-government organization, it may be a research institution. There are different institutions that have registered for Research for Life in Uganda. So when you open the hamburger menu, click on reports, and below there, you'll find the country offer. That's where you can find that information. So still under the country collections, you'll be able to search. You can search for a country, for example, Uganda, and when you select the type, university, faculty, college, to show you that Uganda, for example, has access to 197 resources. You put in another country, or maybe you put in Uganda and you change the university, faculty, college to maybe a research institution. It should also give you a different number of what they are accessing, what is accessible to that particular, or those particular institutions. And that box down, where you find a green box, it means the offer is available for everyone. Where you find a star, it means the offer is available beginning in the next calendar year. So when they are bringing a resource, they actually give you information. They talk about, they tell you they put it in the Research for Life in the previous year, but it is always with that star to show that right now it's not accessible, but come next calendar year, it will be accessible. And where you find an X, it means that the offer is not available. The offer is not available after the end of the current calendar year. So when they are bringing in content, new content, they give you information, they star. When they are taking it out, they put an X, and you can access it up to the end of that year. Then when the next year starts, it will not be available. And the last one down, which is like a $sign in red, it means that offer is available to non-paying institutions. So there is a way you can find, I think I have already mentioned this, maybe just to emphasize. If you want to find your page to see what you have access to, you go to the country offer page just below the reports, and then you put in your country, and then below the country, you select the institution category, whether it's a teaching hospital, whether it's an NGO, whether it's a university, and then you click on find. So find will give you information down there. For example, this one, we put in Bhutan and selected teaching hospital, and when we clicked on find, it shows that that country, Bhutan, has a total access of 57,209. If you can see it just below the red box, down there where the lower arrow is showing, then they have, they have 57,209 books, 10,614 journals, 26 reference sources, and 15 databases. So the information is shown there. If you put another country, or even in Bhutan, if you select another category, another institution category, you'll find the information of how much of what is being, of what they are accessing in that country by that particular institution. And of course, the boxes are showing that this one is accessible. They are all accessible. I'm saying access medicine and African journals online, all those accessible. That's what the box means. So in summary, before we go for a demonstration, we have looked at access to research for life collections, resources by the unified, and the other two content portals, Agora and RD, how to browse such the content. This one will actually do it through the demonstration, and additional resources that are available via the databases, reference sources, and free collection listings. I'm going to look at now at the, just a moment. Okay, we have focused on this, which we are going to do, which we are going to look at as we demonstrate, but then also identifying what the publishers have granted access to a specific country and the type of institution via the content offered by publishers to institutions with countries, within countries, areas and territories. And then we shall also look at the several additional resources from the content portal that help on the help page, and research for life training portals also will be looked at. So before we go to the demonstration, do we have any questions? Let me try to check if we have any questions here. Meanwhile, if we have any questions, please just put your hand up and talk. Oh, you just talk because I'm not looking at the hands actually. Just introduce yourself and ask if you have any questions or clarifications before we go online. Can you explain more on the hamburger menu? Okay, thank you, Collins. We are going to look at it during the demonstration. Maybe you'll understand it better. Ronald, thank you. Good morning. Okay. I think we don't have any questions. Kindly fill the, no, this is different. I don't think we have any other questions in the chat. So can we, members, can we now go to?
Can proceed. There are no questions.
How do NGOs get to access these resources? Do they register like universities? That is from Jacqueline. Yes, NGOs also have to register like universities. What you would need, maybe you can request from CUUL members or from any university library that you know of, or any librarians from a university around to help you, show you how to register. Registration is online and you can find it on the website, on the Research for Life website. Colleagues, kindly use, okay. Can you explain more? I think that's all. That is all for this chat. So members, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, there's another question. Okay, thank you for the response. I'm going to stop sharing now and I go online. Okay. Just give me a minute. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to go through CUUL, the CUUL website, but I believe we can do the same. If you go to the CUUL website and you go to My Loft, and actually I'm not at the university right now. I'm working from home, so I cannot access Research for Life unless I go through My Loft. So I'm going to go through the library website, but I imagine that from the other institutions, you can also go through your library website, you go into My Loft, and you'll be able to access Research for Life. So are you able to see the screen, I believe?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Okay, before that, I think I have other questions. Let me see. Greg Tamara is asking the registration one. Sylvia, the link is not working.
No, I have responded. I'm responding. Don't worry.
Okay, so we can proceed. Okay, so let me sign in. Into My Loft, then I go to eResources, all databases. And down here, I should be able to get Research for Life. Okay. So this is how the Research for Life homepage looks like. And because we are navigating Research for Life, we shall look at the homepage first, and we see how to access resources. So let's start with actually most of the other things I talked about, the frequently asked questions, the accessing the content, the training, access, they are all on this page. Although we are not going to go through everything, but that is about Research for Life. You can always visit and see. There's quite a lot that you can see in Research for Life. But let's just start with accessing the content. So when you to access the content, you definitely have to log in. And you have to log in as an institution. By the way, maybe what I did not mention is that you cannot register as an individual. The registration is by institution. So once you have registered as an institution, then you as an individual can always use the same login details, even when you are outside the institution. And maybe what I can also say is that when you keep using you keep logging into Research for Life from the institution, because we are accessing through IP addresses, at one point, the Research for Life is going to be recognizing your IP, the IP address of your laptop or your computer, so that when you get out of, for example, if I'm outside Makerere, I can still go and log in without putting in password, I mean, without having to. Okay, so I can just click on login. Let me click on login. And for me, because I've been logging into Research for Life, as I told you, I'm at home, but I have not logged in. I mean, I'm already logged in. Once you click on access the content, I am already logged in because I've been using it. Now Research for Life knows knows my laptop. So when you click on the head, this head here, on your right hand top, you see I am logged in as Uganda University / faculty / college. Okay. Of course, if you're not logged in, this one will be asking you to sign in. So I am logged in and I'm good to go. And maybe before I leave that site, the default language is English, but if I wanted to change this, for example, to Arabic, I can just click on Arabic and everything changes to the Arabic language, as you can see. Okay. Hey, it looks like I'm now logged out. Okay, let me go back to English. All right, so here, let me just look at the help menu first. So under help menu, there's quite a lot of information. If you want to ask for help from Research for Life, there is information down here on the left-hand side, tips for using the new content portal. You can click there and you see the information, logging in, personal sign-in, browsing the content, searching within someone. There's quite a lot of information. And then you can also contact them if you want. Then about Research for Life, and there is frequently asked questions and there is access. Let's go to frequently asked questions and see which questions people usually ask about Research for Life. For example, some of the questions are on eligibility. I think that person who asked about registration can look here. How can I find out if my institution is already registered? How do I register? The person who asked, if you clicked here, you get the answer. Okay. When I register, can I provide my institution's IP for access to at that point? And your answer is there. So there are so many, there's a lot of information here under registration. There is also information under eligibility. The first question, which countries are eligible to join Research for Life? And when you click there, it will show you the countries and territories that are eligible to access Research for Life. So if you look at this information, of course, they considered these World Bank figures to categorize the countries into 3 groups: the Group A, Group B, and the other group which is not eligible. So Group A is us who are paying no money at all to access the Research for Life. All we need is to register, and we get our login details and we start using. Then there's Group B, which are middle-income countries, which pay some little money. I don't know whether it's, of course, I call it little, but it wouldn't be little for us. Maybe $5,000. I'm not sure. Maybe $1,000 per year to access the content. And then, of course, the other Group C are not eligible. So that is, if you follow the eligibility, frequently asked questions. Then there is also getting started. I'm using the Research for Life Unified Portal for the first time. What do I need to know to start with? All this information here. Then there are access issues. Then there is content. Then there is payment for Group B. Remember, I said Group B pays some money to access the resources. Then there is training and promotion. Then there is partners and publishers. There is quite a lot of frequently asked questions that can help the person who is starting to use Research for Life or who would like to register to use Research for Life. Now, let me go back to home. Now, on the home, before I start browsing the collections, on your right-hand side, you see key access key. Are you seeing the access key? Please
Yes,
talk.
Doctor.
Are you listening to
Yes,
me?
Doctor.
Okay. So below access key, there is P in green. This means that the titles that you access which have P on the left-hand side, it means that the titles are provided. Then there is OA. Those titles are published in the open access journals. That is open access content. Then where you find F, that means that is free content. It is free in such that even if you did not go through Research for Life, you could still access that content. Then where you find an exclamation mark in a black box, it means that that article or that resource is not accessible to you, is not provided. Okay. And I think this is what I wanted to talk about, the home page. Down here, there is the training portal. The training portal actually has a lot. It has a lot of information. Some are webinars, some are courses that you can do. There is the MOOC course. You can do this course and you even get a certificate. You can also watch videos on YouTube. You can, when you visit the training portal, let me visit the training portal. You can actually find PowerPoint presentations that you can just customize for your institution and you start using them. So for example, here there is download our presentation on how to search the new Research for Life content portal. If you click here, it will bring the PDF, the PowerPoint presentation. You can just customize it and use it. There are webinars. There is a MOOC, these are courses. And then there is getting started with Research for Life. There is free resources from partners. There is the Authors Hub, there's the Librarians Hub, quite a lot. Let me quickly look at webinars. Now, these webinars here are very good. And one that I would actually want to show you is joining. There's someone who wanted to join, someone who asked about registration. You can click that webinar, you go through it, and you know how to join. You can search for content. You can actually navigate the new portal. This one, you can navigate the new portal and see what it provides, how to search for content. And this is an introduction webinar, Introduction to Research for Life. And there's quite a lot, and they are all in the languages, any of those 6 languages that I mentioned. Then there is here writing grant proposals for those who want to write winning proposals. There's a webinar for you. There is open science, open data, open research. All this information is here. There is the initial steps of research, quite a lot. Publishing ethics, getting published, increasing impact. Oh my, it's quite a lot. CUUL abstracts. Do you see all these are webinars that have taken place and they are documented for you to use. People who want to create OKIDs, the information is there. So the training portal has quite a lot. So let me get back home. So that is this, then tips for using the new portal, download our presentation, how to search the content portal. That one is also there. So colleagues, this is the home page of Research for Life. Now I'm going to look at the collections. The collections, when you click on collections up here, we have our 5 programs, Hinari, Agora, RD, Goli, and Oware. And clicking on each will actually take you to a page where you can search for that. You can search that collection. So when you click here, it opens on your left-hand side. You should be seeing the word Hinari because that's what I clicked on. And if I clicked on another one, it will still change to that other one. Then you can start searching within that collection. So yeah, so I selected Agora here, and it displays what we can find, what is available for us in Agora. And I just want to just click on one, just to click on one, and then I see, let me see, production ergonomics. Hey, looks like my thing is not working. Okay. So that is, I actually don't know what I have clicked on, but it has opened and it is showing different languages. I think I picked on a research that is not English. Let me look for others. You can see more down there, or you can even go up here and you search if you have an article or a journal in mind. If you have a journal in mind, I don't know, this is Agora. Let me see if there is crop science, for example. So there is crop science here, and it is published by Wiley and Sons. So let's go to crop science, and they are saying that it is provided. Let's go to crop science and see what is there. So to use the journal, to go where I have gone, you only need to know which journal has published the article that you're looking for. So this is the Journal of Crop Science, and it has volume 63. This is the most current. Let's just look at, for example, volume 61.
Doctor,
Yes. Yes.
you have about 10 minutes.
I have about 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So volume 61, I just want to take you up to where you find the full text article. So these are the various articles that we have. Now for this one in particular, if you wanted to access this one, there is a PDF here. You can have full text, but you can also have it in PDF. Internet is a bit slow, so this is the PDF. You see, what for us, what we are looking at is to make sure that you find information and you find it in full text. So that is the PDF. If you went through crop science, you have gone through Agora, and we picked as a journal in Agora. Oh, it is raining here. We picked a journal in Agora called Crop Science, and we picked on any article, and we accessed it full text. So let me try to go back. Again, on the collections, so all these, the search interface is actually the same. You click on it and you search. From on left here, you find information. Now, let me quickly go to content. Content, there is, as I already mentioned in the PowerPoint, you can access journals, you can access books, and all this information up to the end. So let me click on journals, but before I go to, okay, let me click on journals, yes. So this is the page for the journals. And as you can see on your left-hand side, it is showing that these journals, in Hinari, we have 11,000 plus journals. Agora, we have 10,000 plus. Owari, we have 7,000. Adi, we have 4,000. Goli, we have 2,000 plus journals. Of course, there are so many, there's a lot of more information, the content type, the subject, that there are different subjects, and the publishers who publish those journals, and then the languages where you can find those journals. And then the access type, there's where it is free, where it is provided, there are 9,000, and where they are free is about 19,000. So let me just look for the journal, which journal, I'm searching journals. I'm going to search for the Lancet journal. This is a medical journal. The Lancet, and the Lancet has so many different Lancets. There is Lancet, there is Lancet Diabetes, Lancet Hepatology, Lancet Hematology, Lancet HIV, etc. Let's just look quickly at Lancet journal. And we pick just any of the articles. This one. So many. And then from here, you can just click on the PDF. Click on the PDF and your journal will be there. Full article, the full article. So we are accessing most of these. Where you find P, they are actually provided through Research for Life. Where you find F, you know that they are free. Even if you went through Google Scholar, you would access those, but not very many will be accessible. Okay, so let me quickly go back since I don't have much time. I want to just show you their free collections, their reference. Let's go to books, for example. And once you click on books, it also shows you what ADI has, what Hinari has. The numbers are there showing, and they are about 109,000 books. So these ones here, you can just pick on any book. Because these are different. Let me just say a book on what? Biochemistry. You can also use the A to Z, but of course this one is going to waste your time, because if you're looking for biochemistry, you click on B, you start with BA, BA, BB, BC until you go up to BIO. So the biochemistry that we have here are these ones, and this is free. I wanted one that is that is provided. Most of them are actually free. Let's look at this one, which is provided. And I'm seeing the page not showing. All right. The page you're looking for does not exist. Oh, this may have moved. Let me try to pick. So I've picked on another one, and if you look at the original, I think what I have clicked on is not a book, but it's original research articles. And anyway, this one, let me see if we can have access. The PDF is actually there. So if you click on PDF, you should be able to get it. But if it's a book, remember, because of copyright, most of the books, you can open the PDF of a chapter. You may not be able, although a few books are open fully, you find the entire book PDF opens, but most of the books in Research for Life, they give you access to only one chapter at a time. So you read your chapter, you finish, you go back and look for the next chapter, and you click on the PDF. It has been separated, I believe, due to copyright issues. They don't like us to open the entire book. Okay. How many minutes do I have? Let me go back home now. There's something that I want to show you. I want to show you the summon search before my minutes go. So for these collections, you can just select on any and you do the search. You run the search. You can go to the collection, you select any collection, you do the search. Now, if you want to search using the summon, what we call the summon search, which I talked about, when you click on this glass kind of lens, it brings you this window, and in here you can actually do the advanced search. So the advanced search, I can search in the title. I can search in the title and search for land law, for example. And then I combine with Boolean operators. I also want to search in the title and maybe the history of land law. Let me see if I can get something here. And I run the search. So it has given me 55 hits that have the history of land law, the history of land law. And this one I can actually open. Let me try to open this and see. Yes, and this is an article, and unfortunately this one is not accessible. Maybe something I've not talked about. The publishers give you access. They really have they have control of what they give you and what they can't give you. If, for example, an article is going to be published in 2023, they can just give you the information and the article with the metadata, but you will not have access until it has fully opened. That one is there. Some, you can actually open now a book of 2024, but you will have access to it, but before it is published online, before it is published out there, it will be published online. And sometimes, depending on, I don't know what they consider, but you may find that a publisher may say, maybe Springer will say that I'm not giving access to Makerere University because maybe being a public university, the biggest university, the oldest, maybe they can afford this resource, but I'm instead going to give it to Busitema University because it's a new university and they are still starting. So there are certain things that they consider. You find in Busitema, they can access this book, but in Makerere, you cannot access it. And they have their reasons. So I'm seeing here, they are saying the full text is actually online, full text online. They all have full texts online. So this is how you search using the summon, and your search strategy, actually your search string is here. Like I have searched land law in the title, and I have also searched for the word history in the title and combined the two with Boolean operators. And if you want to go to a new search, to perform a new search, you click on new search and you continue, you can repeat it. So this is how to use the summon search. The summon search helps you to search using keywords, and like when you go to a journal and you have to look for the title, you have to look for the journal, you have to look for the title, you have to look for the maybe the volume and the page numbers of that article that you're looking for. For someone, just put in your keywords and you will be able to get that information as fast as possible. So that is the summon, and the hamburger menu that I talked about is actually here. So Florence, please let me know when my time goes. Okay. So the hamburger menu is here. You can look at the contents. As I mentioned, this helps you if you're using your smartphone or you're using a tablet, for example, my iPad. So you can see the content, you can click on journals, you can, this is the content that we already saw in the PowerPoint. And you can also look at the collections, which you already saw. You can look at, now under this hamburger menu, you can also search content and you put in your keywords. You can put in your keywords. Let me say
Doctor?
malaria. Yes.
Doctor, you,
Yes, Florence.
you've used up your time.
My time is over.
Yes, but I think we shall get something like 3 or 5 questions from members
Okay.
for you. Yeah, and colleagues, if you have any questions, kindly prepare so that you ask Doctor before she goes off.
Okay, so members, you ask questions.
Yeah, let me be going through the chat and see.
Okay. All right, so Research for Life, I can keep talking as you ask. Research for Life has quite a lot. If you have to browse and navigate and see everything that is in Research for Life, you can take 2 hours. But I think I tried to summarize it in 1 hour. Okay, so do we have any questions, members? And the good thing also, if you have any clarifications, you can always contact me, or you can contact any librarian, or you can go to the help page and you ask the question, or maybe you find your question already, someone has asked for it and you get the answer. So there is quite a lot. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. Is everything clear? Oh.
There are no questions in the chat. And also in the Q&A. So colleagues, can we get any questions from any of you, or should we assume that everything is clear?
We have a Q&A.
Okay.
We have a Q&A. How do we find you for further training? Oh, type answer. I can put my email, but I don't know who has requested, who has asked. If you are from an institution, maybe an academic institution, I'm sure that you have librarians that can help you. But you can always look for me. Maybe Namboze, Florence, you'll share my email address and my phone contact. Now in the phone, thanks a lot for the presentation. Thanks for the wonderful presentation.
Doctor, there's another one in Q&A.
Another one in Q&A, okay. My question is about the login credentials. How can I get these? Is there a contact person in universities? Yes, you know, in Q&A, this is anonymous participants. Okay, first of all, we have an eResources coordinator, and I think this coordinator is a national eResources coordinator, and she sits at Makerere University Library. She's called Kobsinje Caroline, and I also think that CUUL, maybe Florence, you can guide that person. But to the login credentials, you get them after you have registered to use the resource. So what you can do, make sure that you register as an institution. There is an MOU that you have to fill. There's a contract, there is a form that you need to fill, and you send it to Research for Life, and then they respond and they work with you. And once you have been registered, then they will send the login credentials to the institution, not to you, but to the institution, because this is institutional registration. So I think I have answered your question.
Yes, it's unfortunate that the person is anonymous. We can't tell who the person is, but please get in touch with us, and then we shall take you through the procedure of registering and everything. So if you don't want to put your details, you can just inbox me, or let me just put my number, or if you're on the eResources WhatsApp forum, you can still get in touch with us, and we find ways of helping you.
Okay, thank you very much. And someone, Nayavare Doreen, is asking, will you avail us with a recording? That one Florence can answer.
The recording will be availed to everyone, so we shall send it to everyone.
Okay, I'm grateful to be part of this training. Kindly avail us with a recording. Thank you for the presentation. Maybe you can share your email in case we fail along the way. Thank you. I have tried to put my email here in the Q&A, but it's not going. Maybe let me put it in the chat. I hope you are now able to see it. Okay, members, let me not enter into someone's time. I'm grateful, thank you. Introduction to database for law called juicemundi.ive. Tried to open it, but I failed. Any assistance? Research for Life introduced a database for law called JuiceMundi. Now, this one, since we don't have time, you can send me an email. I have shared my email. Please share with me send me that query by email, and I'll help you. I'll check it out and let you know. And that is Ronald Kaye. Yes. Okay, members, the messages keep coming. The recording will be available. Please don't forget to send the recording. Okay. Members, we have to stop here. Thank you very much for your attention, for listening. And I hope to be part of this again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Members, next, we're going to have Ms. Florence, our chairperson, taking us through getting to know your databases. Florence, I think you're there.
Yes, Chirabo.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Allison, for taking us through a research for life. At least we've managed to get some questions at the end of the session, but we shall try to follow up to see that all members, all institutions can register for these resources, and also to give them the necessary help where needed. So please, colleagues, kindly get in touch with us in case you still need help to do with research for life. Don't mind, the presentation will be, the recording will be shared at the end of the session to all of us. So for me, I just want to tell you about the databases or the resources that we have access to. Just allow me to share my screen. So I'm just going to talk about the databases that we do have access to as CUUL members. And I'll start with the ones that we pay for as CUUL. And I'm going to use MyLoft because I'm not on campus, I'm off campus. And I can only access them through our remote access tool called MyLoft. So this is my account. I will not go through the details of MyLoft accounts and registration and all that, but just allow me to go through here. So this is my account. Let me just log in. and then and then look at the databases that we have access to. Now, as CUUL, for 2023, we paid for 3 databases. Sorry, we paid for 3 databases, and these are EBISCO Host, Taylor and Francis, and Emerald as consortium of Uganda University Libraries. So these are the ones on the landing page. We have Emerald, we have Taylor and Francis, and then we also have EBISCO for 2023. So those are the databases that we paid for. And maybe to go deeper into them, I can use the ones recommended on the landing page. Alternatively, I can go to the eResources and then look at all the databases. This will help me to list all the databases that we have access to as CUUL. And then I will choose out the ones that CUUL paid for 2023. And I've said those are 3 databases. We've paid for EBISCO Host, we've paid for Emerald, and then we've paid for Taylor and Francis. So to look at all of them, let me just pick the 3. So EBISCO Host, Emerald, and Taylor and Francis. So let me start with okay, so let me start with EBISCO Host. When you choose it from MyLoft, since I'm using this remote access tool, this is how it will display. This will be the landing page. Then I'll have to click on EBISCO Host Web to be able to look at the other details or content. So when it opens up, it should be able to recognize you or to recognize us as Consortium of Uganda University Libraries. And this will be the outlook of the page. So with the EBISCO Host, we have access to, let me click on Show All. We have access to Academic Search Premier. We have access to ebook collection that we managed to pay for starting this year, 2023. We have access to ERIC Green File. And then they also added for us the open access content. And in that, we also have the open access dissertations. So this is what we have access to. Academic Search Premier is multidisciplinary. Then we have the ebook collection, having business collection and academic collection. Then we have ERIC, which is education database, a green file where you can get content to do with energy, sustainable development, and the rest. And then the open access content that they added for us. So that is EBISCO. So whether you're looking for an IT article, agriculture, any field, you'll be able to get it through EBISCO Host. And don't forget also the ebook collection. It's also a process of downloading and having the ebooks, but that is a package that will also give you ebooks. So that is one of the databases that we paid for this year. Then the other database is Emerald, and this is its landing page. This is how it looks like. And within Emerald, when you go to My Products, you'll be able to see the databases that we have access to as CUUL. As it opens, please note that some of these databases are quite big. They are providing a lot in terms of subject coverage. But at CUUL, we only pay for packages. So there are instances where you'll search for something for an article or for an information, and then they will tell you that we don't have access to that. So when you come across that, just know that that is outside the packages that we pay for. So this is Emerald. Once you open, it should be able to recognize you. When you look here, it shows that welcome Consortium of Uganda University Libraries. So once you see that, then you will know that you have access to this, and access is provided to you through the consortium. So for the packages that we pay for accounting and finance and economics e-journal. Then we for this year still we added the business management and strategy e-journal collection. So initially we didn't have this, but for this year we managed to add it, and it's part of the package that we do have access to. And then we have HR, that is human resource learning and organization studies. Then we have information and knowledge, and then library and information science. So once you do a search in maybe within these packages that you're seeing here, then you should be able to get resources. You should be able to get results from there, and you'll be good to go with your education and then with your research. So please, when you go to Emerald, just click to where you see my products, and then you'll be able to see the packages that we do pay for as the consortium. For EBISCO, like I mentioned, you click on Show All when you open. Click on Show All for you to be able to see what we do have access to. And then the other one is Taylor and Francis. This is their landing page. This is their landing page. They have quite a number of subjects that they are covering, but as the Consortium of Uganda University Libraries, we have access to humanities, we have access to social sciences, and then science and IT. So those are the ones that we have access to. From the rest of the subjects as displayed here, we could be able to get the open access content from them. But as for CUUL, we are sure of getting humanities, social sciences, and then sciences and IT. So this is what we do have access to from Taylor and Francis. So this is their landing page. You'll have your search box as we've seen the other databases, and you will be able to look at the content that we have access to. So those are the three databases that we have paid for 2023 as CUUL. But when I go back to MyLoft, we have other fund partners that are helping us in terms of paying for some of the databases. For example, we have Makerere in Uganda, Makerere University, and they are helping us to pay for IEEE. So when you go to MyLoft, or among the databases that you will have access to, will be IEEE. So IEEE is paid for by Makerere. Sorry, I'll let it open. And I think sometime back, we made a call for those institutions that are offering IT-related courses and also engineering courses, sorry. So we sent these details to our publishers, and they have started activating institutions to have access to these. So as CUUL, as long as you're paying for eResources, you'll be able to have access to IEEE. As long as you're a teaching institution, you'll be able to get access to IEEE and courtesy of Makerere University. So this is how it displays. This is their landing page, and you'll have your search box there. So anything to do with information communication technology and then engineering, you'll be able to find it in IEEE. And on that note, I really want to thank Makerere for their generosity, because this is one of the expensive databases, and as CUUL we couldn't afford. But thank Makerere University, who have managed to pay for all the CUUL eResource paying members. Then Makerere still pays for this remote access tool that we are using as CUUL, which is MyLoft. So a big thank you to them still. So at least we are able to access these resources away from our main campuses because of Makerere University. The other database that we still have access to and through Makerere is Whaley online library, though they were still working out on something, but I'm sure we still do have access to their content. And in such, they also provide us with social science content. Moving on, we also have Research for Life. I wouldn't love to repeat that because Dr. Allison has already taken us through that. But Research for Life, you'll have to register for it. It is a process, you have to register. And then after registering, they will give you the login credentials, and your institution will be able to receive the content, just as Dr. Allison has taken us through. Then to continue, we also have databases paid for by eFIL, and I'm just going to pick a few out of what we have here. ASTM Campus is one of the databases. I'm going to share the Word document where all these are listed. It's one of the databases paid for by eFIL, but these are also, they will also give you access after you have registered for them. There is a form that you have to fill, and I believe majority of us have filled it. And after filling it, you send it to the eFIL coordinator in Uganda, and that is Drake. And then you'll be able, they will grant you access to the content. There is a lot. I'm just going to share the Word document, and you'll have a look at the list. But now I can't go on without mentioning SCite. SCite is a citation database, and it is one of those citation databases providing current content. It is very rich. It is multidisciplinary in nature, but again, you'll have to register for it in order to get, hello? I thought someone was saying something. You'll have to register for it for you to have access to the content. Just allow me to stop sharing this. Maybe before I stop sharing, we also have HS talks. Hello, is someone trying to communicate? Let me hope that is not coming.
I have handed them.
Okay, thank you. We also have HS Talks, and HS Talks for those institutions that are handling health-related courses, medical courses. This is one of the databases that is really doing wonders. It is currently, we have access to the biomedical and life sciences collection, and we have full access to the content there. So when you look down, you'll be able to look at the subjects that they are covering from biochemistry, cancer, and up to reproduction and development. So this is one of the free databases we can make use of for those institutions that are providing health and medical related content. And that is their landing page. When you go here, you'll be able to see that access is provided to us by consortium, and you'll have full access to the content there. So please let our medical students, the health students know about this. They'll be able to get those lecture talks, the videos, they'll be able to get the slides, they'll be able to get the PDFs and the rest. So allow me to stop sharing this, and then I'll project this. I'll share this other. Chiraba, I hope I'm still within my minutes.
Yes, Florence.
Okay, I hope you're able to see my screen. I'm sharing a Word document. Okay, so this is the Word document. I earlier on shared it with all of us. I don't know, but I'll keep on sharing. So briefly, this is what I was trying to explain earlier on via MyLoft. So as CUUL, we paid for Ebisco, Emerald, Taylor, and Francis, and that is the breakdown of what we have access to. Then as we go to our local partners, who are the Makerere University, they are paying for IEEE, they are paying for MyLoft, and then WADI. When you continue, we have Research for Life, as Dr. Allison has taken us through. And for those members who have not registered with Research for Life, we are glad to help you out and have access to the content that is being provided to us. And then for AFIL, this is a list. There are quite many, but like I mentioned, you'll have to register. You'll have to register for them. Share those registration forms with the AFIL coordinator, and they will grant you access. So there is a lot. They are really covering a lot. So please let us make use of these resources. They are freely accessible to us. Generous people or organizations are paying, so let us make use and let us advertise, let us share this with our clients so that they can get information. So it's a list. I'll continue to share this. Then the HS Talks, that is providing us with a biomedical and life science collection. And then we also have, this one I'd forgotten to mention, via MyLoft, we also have Open Research Library. It is also open and being worked on annually. Each year they keep on adding new content, new books. And I'm sure some of us have already received emails to take part into their selections. So they normally communicate for members, willing to take part into the selection bit of it. You select the kind of things that you want to see, and then they add it to the collection. So briefly, that is what we have access to as CUUL members. And then not forgetting the open access resources. We could be having different resources as institutions, but that is also some of them that we can make use of. I don't know if I have any questions before I could talk about the institutional admin accounts.
Thank you so much,
Please.
Florence. If you have a question, you can post in the chat. Or in the Q&A.
Allow me to talk briefly about admin accounts. We are meant to have admin accounts for each and every institution that is paying for eResources. So if you know that you're paying for eResources and you do not have admin accounts, especially for the for the 4 databases that we do have access to, kindly get in touch with me. With eBisco hosts, if you don't have an admin account, kindly get back. But I remember some time back, we worked out with the publisher for eBisco hosts, and we managed to create admin accounts for those institutions which didn't have. So please, if you have a team of librarians in charge of eResources at your institutions, please, we only need to use one credential to have access to these accounts. So if you're 4 or 3 or 2, just decide amongst yourself who to be the leader in that. You get in touch with me, and then we also inform the publishers. For example, for the eBisco, we shall inform them, and then they will create the admin account for you. So this admin account will help you to manage locally your account in terms of usage statistics, in terms of cross-checking your IP, maybe if there if there is anything, if maybe you don't have full access, you'll have to check your IP and see if you provided the right IPs. If there are changes, then you also have to let us know so that we get in touch with the publishers and they work on such issues. So I'm just using eBisco host to demonstrate one of the admin accounts. Now this one is an account for Uganda Matters University. Of course, when you log in, your institution will be cited. So this is where you see your institution name and also the ID. So if it is, let me say Makerere University, you should be able to see Makerere and then institution ID. If it is KIU, you'll be able to see the same. So this is how it looks like. They will give you the general settings, the back end with all these. And then for authentication, you'll be able to check your IP addresses, if there are changes, if there are what, and then you let us know. So these are the IP addresses for my institution under authentication. And when you go to authentication, you're able to see the IPs. They will be listed. I'm not going to go through each and everything. Then do with the reports. You'll also be able to do the report generation to do with the statistics and know how your institution is kind of using these resources. But I'm not going to go through all that into details. We shall have a practical session on generating usage statistics at individual level, and then we see how we are faring. So that is one of the databases that you should have admin accounts.
Florence, you have some questions.
Yes, please.
There are some questions in
Yes,
Q&A. there for you.
Okay.
And in the chat,
Okay.
you have some
Okay, thank
questions. Yes. You can check and address.
Okay. Yeah. One from James. Can we have that word copy of databases here shared? Yes. I'll reshare this again. I'll share via WhatsApp. I'm going to share via the emails. So I'm going to share this, James. I'll share it again. Can we please a copy of what document? Okay. Okay, Max and James, this is going to be shared again. This is going to be shared again. I think those are the two questions I had in the Q&A. Let me see the chat. Lydia. Okay, then for in the chat, Florence, are all these resources accessible by all CUUL members? How about members who did not pay for eResources? Okay, namesake. For EBISCO host, Emerald, Taylor and Francis, and IEEE, you must have paid for eResources to have access to these. So if you've not paid for eResources, I'm sorry, you will not have access to those four: Taylor and Francis, EBISCO host, Emerald, and then IEEE. But the ones paid for by FIL, you only need to register to fill up the form, provide your details, provide your IPs, because access to these databases are through IPs. So if the IP is not provided, then you will not be able to access. So you'll have to you'll have to fill out those forms for the ones that are provided for by FIL. So after registering and providing your IP, this will be shared with FIL, and then they will give you, or they will grant you access to them. Then Research for Life, the database that Dr. Allison has taken us through, you'll have also to do the same thing. You'll have to register for it, and then after registering, they will give you the login credentials. Then you'll be part of the team accessing Research for Life databases. For HS Talks is also paid for all institutions within Uganda. So that one you can also have access to. It's only the 4 databases, or 4 or 5, that you will not have access to. I hope I've answered that question, Florence. Thank you, Florence. I'm going to share the document. Can a patron whose university is fully registered with CUUL access these resources without authorization? Brenda, if you're talking about paying for resources via CUUL, as long as we have your IPs registered, the patron doesn't have to register to access them, because access is through IP authentication. So if you know, I don't know which university is this, Brenda, but if you've paid, for example, let me say, if you've paid for EBISCO, you've paid for Emerald, Taylor and Francis, then you should also have access to IEEE and maybe WADI. Then your users will be granted access to these resources. They don't have to create personal accounts. The personal accounts will only come in maybe with EBISCO host. I don't want to go through that, but I know someone is going to take us through the database navigation and how to get all these resources. But once you've paid for these resources via CUUL, then your eligible users, your eligible university or institutional users will be able to have access to these resources. Just like, if I remember very well, even Dr. Harrison talked about individual registration with the Research for Life. That one is not acceptable, so they will only take institutions. So if they are truly eligible users and an institution or university has paid for these resources, and they will be able to access. Now, for those who are off campus, like, okay, you could be UCU, but you have your main campus, and then those other off-campus campuses, they will be able to have access to these via the remote access tools. So they could be using Remotex, they could be using maybe Easy Proxy or MyLoft or any other. So they will still be able to have access as long as you've registered them in those individual remote access tools. Brenda, I hope I've answered you. I don't see any other question in the chat and Q&A. Yeah, I hope I've answered that. Thank you so much for those questions. Please, if you have any questions to do with the eResources, to do with access, registration, for any kind of help, just get in touch. We have a WhatsApp forum. We have a group where you can share or ask for help. And I know we are many, and any one of us will be able to help you out. I think that is it I had this is a call. Let me say this again. Please, if you don't have an institutional admin account, kindly get in touch and we see how to help you out. EBISCO hosts, IEEE, Taylor and Francis, Emerald. Please, let's make sure that we have those admin accounts. And because the next webinar purposely might be on usage statistics, and you will not be able to generate those usage statistics if you don't have an admin account. So we would want to set everything and be able and be ready for the next webinar. So please, if you don't have an account, get in touch. If you know that you have paid for eResources and you're not sure whether you have an account, please get in touch and we sort this out before we could maybe organize any other session or any other webinar to do with eResources. We want to see how we are faring. We are paying for these resources, but are they fully used? Are they fully utilized? And we can only get to know that if we look at our usage, if we look at our statistics and we know that maybe only 100 out of thousands are accessing these resources. And then this will also help us to plan for other either in-house trainings, that is at institutional level and also at the consortia level. So let's look into that. And this goes to the eResources librarians at the different institutions or universities. Please look into that and let's ensure that we have those accounts, and this will help us to manage our resources, our access, and also organizing for more trainings. I think that is what I had in terms of databases that we do have access to. Chirabo, I think I'm done.
Much. Thank you so much, Florence, for that wonderful presentation. There are no questions, so we shall go right ahead into the next session by Drake on the technical checks. Drake, are you there?
I am there.
Okay, you can proceed, Drake.
So good morning once again. I hope we are all here. I hope you can hear me. I know you can hear me actually. So once again, I am Rick Tamare, and I'm going to take us to the technical check session. Let me just first put my. So here we are. I hope you can see the screen. So this is the technical check session, specifically eResources technical check session. If you remember, I shared a survey a few days ago, and I asked some of you to go ahead and respond. I'm glad that 15 of you responded. Of course, that's a very little number, but it's given me the right information I need to run this session. So in today's session, we are going to hear, I'm going to present to you a report from the survey, how people responded, and it will also inform how we proceed. Then we are going to have a poll. Yes, we are going to have a poll. And then we shall have breakout rooms where we are going to discuss our specific challenges that we are facing. And then we shall come back and discuss. So I have divided my session into these minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes. I know I have 30 minutes. However, I hope to use less than that if it is possible. Have you faced this kind of challenges where you try to go to access a resource and they're telling you your IP address is not within the range? Someone, another database tells you have no sign in. You need to have a username, you need to have a password, and you don't have such. Sometimes you go there and they say you do not have permission to access this requested page, such things. So that's what we are trying to see how we can solve for you. So basically technical challenges. Now in the survey that I sent to all of us, 15 people responded, and 93% of you said you're actually CUUL members. I'm happy to hear that. But we also had some that are not, at least maybe one person who was not a CUUL member. And I know that even in this session, we have people who are not CUUL members. It's not a challenge. We welcome you, and we hope that with the display, we are going to give you consider joining CUUL. Then the institutions that responded were Lira University, Mbara University of Science and Technology, Moni University, Uganda Christian University, UTC Elgon, Uganda Management Institute, and Westminster Christian Institute, Uganda. I thank you for responding. I think even other institutions responded, just as I don't see them here. But if your institution did not respond, please do something. It means that you are silent, you are keeping quiet, and you have problems that you're not telling us. We don't want you to say that you have no access to resources, yet it is because you're not telling us, because we're not angels. We need you to tell us. Actually, when you have a challenge, we need you to tell us. So remember to always get in touch the moment you realize you have no access. Then the people who responded, many of them were actually not eResources coordinators. Most of them were librarians in another capacity, which means you don't mainly deal with eResources. And for technical service, we really need the person who deals in the eResources sector. That is the eResources coordinator at institutional level. So we only found out that only 26% of you were actually the coordinators at institutional level, but majority are librarians working in another capacity. And also others are head librarians, 33%. Then among the challenges you mentioned in the survey was that you need capacity building at the local points. Yes, we are open to that. Kindly know that you can get in touch with us anytime, so long as you have a challenge. And even if you don't have a challenge, you are saying thank you so much, please still get in touch with us so that we know that you're doing a good job. Then another one said that there's a challenge of downloading some ebooks. I hope we can, the next session, we work on that. But of course, if I have time, I will show you and then we see what the challenge is. Because I imagine if you are here and you said you have a challenge, download the inbox, we could give you the option to share your screen and then we go through that, time allowing. Then we have, someone said we have a challenge logging into Taylor and Francis. I hope you are also here. And they were saying that it's not obvious as CUUL, even though they are using MyLoft. Sorry about this, but we shall be able to check it, time allowing. Then handle eResources admins. The previous presenter has alluded to that, but yeah, I hope we can also do this. Then vigorous marketing of eResources, we shall do this, and I think we are trying our best, but we shall also always improve on how we do this. Then there's a general database trouble. Someone wants that to do general database troubleshooting. Okay, this one will depend on what you tell us, because we don't know where you are stuck. Okay, so now this is the end of the report. I would like to move on to another session. Please, if you have any questions so far, I would ask you to simply go to the Q&A and type that question. We shall be monitoring Q&A and responding. You need to save time. And forgive me, I think I might be a bit fast, but just let's proceed. So I prepared a poll for us so that we can test our technical abilities as eResources coordinators. So I'm going to display that poll. Kindly answer it in the next 3 minutes. We shall go through the answers and then we shall go into breakout rooms so that we talk, because I know we have so many issues. So in a few seconds, I'll display that poll. So just be patient. And I see we are around 98 people here. So let me launch the poll. So the poll is displayed on your screen. Kindly respond. Pick and respond. So in the next 3 minutes, I'll be closing it. Pick what's most appropriate for you. There are around 9 questions. If you can't see the poll, let me know, but I hope you can. Someone was asking for a health break. Maybe you can use this time to do so, but also we shall consider that. Let's respond. 40 seconds to. So we have reached 3 minutes, but only 56% of you have participated. I'll give us an extra minute, or even 2 of them, so that we all at least participate. 60% of you have participated. I would like to see more. Kindly, let's be active and respond. 61% of you so far have participated in the poll. So I'm still waiting. We are at 66% response rate. Please, if you have not responded, I am giving you enough time to do so. But once we clock 5 minutes, I'll automatically have no other choice than to close. So we have 10 seconds to do our part. Okay, thank you so much for participating. Let me end the poll now, then we discuss. So in a moment, I'm going to share with us the results and then we can discuss. I'm hoping this is going to be participatory session so that someone can actually tell us what the right answers are, even if it is not me. So I will ask you when I ask, unmute and then share with us. Thank you. So let me share the results now. I hope we can see the results now. Not yet. Eh? I don't know. I think you can't see the results because I can't see them either. Is anyone able to see the results?
I can see the results.
Okay, that's good.
I'm seeing.
Okay. Okay. So this is how we've answered. The first question was, is your institution a CUUL member? Majority of us are CUUL members, 90%. Please just keep quiet a bit until when maybe you want to say something. So majority of us, yes, are CUUL members. Wonderful. But we also have some that are not CUUL members, and we hope that you'll join us soon. Only one of you was. Then the type of membership for CUUL that you are in. I think this question, some other people could not answer it because they might not be CUUL members, and the majority of us are in the university category. That is 82% in attendance here, 18 affiliates. Then when I asked you to pick your profession, majority of us, 90%, are following the library and information science category, which also includes records. Glad to see you. Then we also have non-professionals, non-risk professionals, sorry, who are 10% of the attendance. The region where you come from, majority of us are from the central region. Eastern is 15%, Western 13%, Northern 12%, and nobody has attended from outside Uganda. Does your institution subscribe to CUUL eResources? 90% said yes, I hope that's true. And 10% no, others, nobody doesn't know. So that's good. You know that you subscribed or not. That's good. Which of these are the currently subscribed to eResources for CUUL? I remember the previous presenter just gave us an answer to this. So I'd like a member to respond. Anyone, please just unmute and tell us what is the right answer here. Anyone ready? Audience, you should not be part of the eResources team.
Hello.
Yes, Ibrahim. Ibrahim? Hey, you are too far.
Hello.
We can hear you, but you're very far. You are very far. Anyone else?
Hello, Drake.
Yes, Ibrahim. Oh, Rujia. Yes, Aziz.
Yeah, that is EBSCO host.
Okay.
Emma and Francis.
Wonderful. That's nice. So I put out this question so that it can intrigue us so that we know exactly which ones. There are so many resources accessed through CUUL, but this year specifically, number 3 was the choice. So we paid for EBSCO host, Emerald, Taylor, and Francis. The other resources such as LibHub, MyLoft, Remotex, they are not resources that we subscribe to, and they're actually remote access or other forms of they help us access resources better, but they are not e-resources in nature. So they are not services or systems. Then another option was IEEE and Wiley. The previous presenter already told you that Makere has helped pay for this on our behalf. Glad majority of you said option number 3, but also there are those who said Research for Life, Oxford, Cambridge, which means we're not sure. So I want you to be sure that number 3, EBSCOhost, Emerald, Taylor, and Francis are the 3 databases that could pay before this year or subscribe to this year. And if you're an eResources paying member, you should have access to this, and your name should be displaying. Then someone picked Z Library. Oh, I put it just there for the sake. Please, Z Library is not part of what we subscribe to, and it is an illegal site. You should know that. So it's the same for Sci-Hub and PDF Drive. So we do not deal with them. Thank you. Then the next question, number 7. Oh, I skipped a question up there about IP. Oh, maybe not. Okay, number 7. What is IP in full? And I said the context here is about eResources access. That means authentication means. It's one of the authentication means. And someone told us that it is information policy. I would like to say no, it is not. But in other capacity, it could be. But when we talk about eResources, it is not. Internet privacy. Who could tell us what IP is? Just from the audience. Audience.
Yeah, it is internet protocol.
Yes, please. And what does it what does it do?
It basically authenticates a particular user, whether you are actually accessing which word can I say? If you are an authorized user, I think that's what I should say.
Yes, so it is an authentication means, which is our first authentication means, because we know that you're tired of passwords and usernames. Everywhere, put in the password, put in usernames. So normally we supply our IP ranges for each institution that is part of the eResources paying members of CUUL to the publishers, so that if you are in the IP range of that institution, you will always have access without the need to put in a password and a username. So that's what it is, Internet Protocol. Thank you so much. Others choose intellectual property in another way, in another language. Yes, it is. But here it specifically means Internet Protocol. Question 8. Do you know how to find your institution's IP ranges? Majority of you said yes. No. Majority said no. Wonderful. Okay, we shall see how you can do this. Some said yes, but majority said no. So now, if you want to find your IP ranges, this is what you do. You could talk to your IT manager. Number 1, you could. But I've had instances where these people don't want to share the IP ranges, maybe because they think they are going to be hacked. Issues happen. But of course, it is not for that. So you could explain to them why we need these IP ranges. However, if they refuse, if they fail to do so, there are also options that you can use to actually see maybe one of your IPs at your institutional level. There is a link, it's a URL called ping.eu, ping.eu. If you are using your institution's internet and you put in that and enter, it will give you the IP of your institution. So that's one way, in the case all others have failed. So you can also just go to Google and say, find my IP, and you have so many links that can help you get to know your IP. Just make sure that you are using the IP, the internet of that institution that you work with, and you solve your problems easily. Then, someone was, what again? Okay, they don't know what this is, but it's okay. Then the last question, I'm sorry I had a typo at the second option, but it's chairperson, forgive me for that. So I was asking us, who is the CUUL contact person on eResources access issues? I wanted us to know. And 13 of us, we are saying surprisingly that the CUUL treasurer is. Then 47 of us said CUUL chairperson or whatever. I'm sorry about it, but it's CUUL chairperson. Others said the CUUL admin. And others, 18%, we are very sure. They said, my dear, I don't know. So I like this honesty. Thank you so much. Who knows who the contact person is among the 47%? I'm asking the audience to answer me who the contact person for access issues is when it comes to eResources.
Chair, she's Florence Namboze.
Thank you. And now we all know. So Florence Numbers heads the CUUL eResources Functional Committee. So when you don't have access to resources and there are challenges, the first person you contact is her. She will share her information with you. So it is not the treasurer. Please, the treasurer does other things. When you fail to pay, the treasurer will knock on your door and say, please pay up. So they don't deal with this mainly. But previously, they were doing that mainly. So let's know that and be sure whom to contact. However, just know that Florence doesn't work alone. She works with a team of other members. But it would be happy if you start with her. We would be so grateful if you start with us so that it is put on record. Those were the questions. I'm going to stop sharing. It's been good for us. Now, I'm going to give us a session. Sylvia, how am I doing time-wise? I believe I have run, time has run, but I'd like us to go into breakout rooms. Now, what are we going to do in the breakout rooms? Because I know we cannot discuss these issues here. So I'm going to give us like 10 minutes in the breakout rooms and we discuss matters. I'll be coming in your rooms to check on you. However, one of you should take notes. You identify one of you to be the leader, and then you take note of any issues you have, access issues for eResources. They will note them down. When we come back, they will lead us in sharing those, and then we see how we can respond to them. Are we clear on the instructions? I see so many things in the chat. I don't know whether any concerns me. Any concerns me? I don't think. Let's go with what? Okay. I think none, but I saw a Q&A. Anyone able to go to Q&A and read the question? Good morning, presenter. Many. Okay, fine. So you would like review how do I become a CUUL member? Thank you, Geoffrey, for intending to become a CUUL member. We are going to share that information with you, but just briefly, if you just want to check it right now, just go to CUUL.or.ug and you'll be able to get all the information that you need about joining CUUL. But also we shall share more information later on about how you can join CUUL. Thank you so much. So that is the only question I see in Q&A. I see something. It's kind of repeat for us the link we used to get IP. You can do ping ping.eu and press enter. ping.eu and press enter. Okay. Yeah, I think even someone answered. Thank you. That's great. So let's take some 10 minutes and go to the breakout rooms. I'm going to just auto give us rooms. Wherever you find yourself, what you do, you're going to get a notification on your phone, and then please accept it and join the group. A notification will come on your phone, accept it and join the group. The moderators are going to keep coming to your groups and checking on how you're doing within the next 10 minutes. Thank you. So let me open the rooms. Because we are many, I can't predetermine. So I'm going to just do it automatically. I know this might be new to some of us, but okay. So I'm going to make us go to 4 breakout rooms, or maybe 5, because we are how many now? 90. So let me give us 5 breakout rooms. So assign automatically, include the co-host when assigning. Okay, assign manually. I'm going to do automatically. So should I let you guys pick a room? No. Let me just, so each room will have 18 participants. But please, let one be a leader. Is someone saying something before you go? Okay, someone is stepping out for a meeting. Okay, understood. But please accept and join at least a room so that you can proceed. Thank you. So I have assigned you rooms already, and then I am opening them. Thank you. Let's go to our rooms.
Hello, group one. How are we doing? Sylvia, I think you can lead this group. Can you? Sylvia Kirabo? Kindly lead this group. I hope you can hear me. And I pray that you can be deputized by Bosco if it's possible. Because I don't hear anything here. Guys, just unmute, guys, and talk. Unmute and talk. So Bosco, I'm making you. I hope you can hear me. Can you? Someone say something.
Yes, Drake, you are
Yes,
very clear.
can hear.
Okay, so
where I'm attending from.
kindly get someone. Bosco, could you lead these members? Please. Is it okay?
Okay, Drake, I didn't get what we are supposed to do.
Okay, just check here any of their concerns, access concerns, note them down. When we come back, we shall listen. You will be presenting what their concerns are, and then we see how to respond. Is this
Okay, not okay, please. Colleagues, I greet you all. Good morning. You are most welcome to this group. This is
Comes with the issue of IP.
okay.
Yes, can I have